back. Yeah. Yeah, I learned that trick because I was like, oh, tampons, bloody pussy, bloody nose, tampon. Check. Hey, everybody, welcome to Lesser Saints Discord.
I mean, they get used for emergency wound care, too.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as good
Isn't that
as
why
other
they were
items.
invented?
No. If anyone tells you that's why they were invented, that's dumb.
Just an urban myth thing.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, like, don't get me wrong. The military has come up with a lot of shit that gets used, like, commonly for other things later. You know,
But
duct tape,
at the same
super
time,
glue.
and duct tape used to be originally was called duck tape because water rolled right off its back.
Oh, I thought
And
it
then
was called
people started
duct.
confusing it with that aluminum tape that they use for
Okay.
ducting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a reason why it's Duck brand tape.
Okay.
It's referring to that.
Yeah, I've been throwing me every which way, I guess. Oh.
Yeah, the original use for duct tape was to keep water out of... well, not the original use. The how it got its name was it was being used to keep water out of ammunition crates and all that fun stuff.
Cool. Makes sense.
Keep just waterproofing and all that.
Yeah.
Like I said, people... if people used it for ductwork, it would have been for non-HVAC, non-heating and cooling applications. So something like vacuum tube or something along those lines. But
duct.
even that's not likely because if you're resorting to duct tape to seal that up, you're gonna have issues. But it looked remarkably similar to actual duct tape, which is a thin aluminum with adhesive on one side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because
Cool.
the stuff that people confuse for duct tape now is it's not very firmly resistant. It doesn't like getting hot.
Yeah.
Tends to melt or get really brittle.
Yeah. So all last night we had freezing rain. It was cold enough for ice, but not cold enough for snow. And so I woke up to about an eighth of an inch plus of ice on everything neighborhood.
Hot.
Huh?
Hot.
Did you say hot?
Yes.
No, quite the opposite. It was cold as fuck.
That's my point.
And I was going to the store at lunch because I was out of sandwich stuff, so I was just gonna go grab a snack and like a coffee.
Snacks.
And the parking lot in front of my local store is on an incline. And I stepped off the sidewalk just a little bit and then just started sliding down the incline. Just looking at the door of the store and just waving goodbye as it's drifting away, and I'm sliding a good, I don't know, probably 20 yards. Just cruising along. Okay, bye
like,
store. I'll come
this
back
is my
later.
life now.
Yep. Just stand there and accept it. Like when you drop a knife, you just let it happen. I'm just standing there sliding on down. Yeah.
Don't try and stop the slide. Try and stop the fall.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't like slip and fall or anything. It was just...
Yeah.
I started moving,
Yeah.
so I just stood there. Let it happen.
Be like water. Go with the flow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Slides you can just roll with. Falls you have to try and recover from, and you'll often fail.
No. Slides you don't roll with. You just go with the full. go with the flow. It's falls you gotta roll with.
Yeah. Yeah.
God
Yeah.
damn it! I am so fucking worn after
I feel like
this
that
week.
was the distinction. Never
I'm
mind.
so fucking worn after this week. I had to take over foreman of a job that has to be done by next week, end of next week, and yeah, that's a bit stressful.
Y2K, it was not my moral duty to make it as hilarious as possible because there was nobody around to see it. So,
Yeah.
well,
Try the-
I mean, I probably would have laughed if I saw somebody like me just sort of casually standing there and just sliding down this this parking lot.
It's
The
like,
owner of the
yeah.
store came out and he was like, "You good?" I was like, "Yep, just sliding."
it's like that's gonna be a gif.
He's not wrong. It's your moral moral duty.
Obligation.
It's your moral obligation to to make it as hilarious as possible. Unless you can make it impressive as fuck. Those are your two options.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking
So it was either try to run up. It was either try to run up the incline and just stay in one place, and possibly fall, or look smooth as fuck and just kind of stand there and wave at the store owner as I saw the door getting farther and farther away. And all I wanted was a pack of smokes.
nah, at that point, like you
want
gotta
that
like
bad?
Huh?
no, like what you have to do there is like in that case, like you just like as casually as possible, just like cross your arms over your chest. If somebody was filming it, like in post, they like have the sunglasses drop down on your face, and you like the deal with it meme.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah.
No, that'd be a
Oh.
combination of the deal with it meme and Mickey D's slogan. Da 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 da. I'm dealing with it.
Yeah. It's also fuck this shit, I'm out.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
Yeah.
They
I
see
saw
me
so
slide
many people.
in.
I
They
saw so many
hate
people
it.
with their big trucks just stuck in parking lots because where that street is, all of the parking lots on that side of the street are on an incline. So they're like, "Yeah, we'll just go to the store. It'll be fine. I got a big old truck." And then they're just sitting there spinning their tires.
Yeah, that's why some places don't outlaw tire studs.
Yeah. Oh, you can get tire studs,
California
yeah.
outlaws them, and I can
Yeah,
see
'cause, like-
why you'd want to outlaw tire studs. I totally get it.
Why?
Because here in California, if you've got tire studs, a good portion of the state is not going to experience ice like that,
Oh,
in
yeah.
which you'd need the studs. So you're just tearing up the street
Yeah. That makes
and
sense.
increasing maintenance costs for roadways.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But places
Here-
like Montana, you best fucking believe they're probably going to have those studs in there.
Oh, they're gonna have studs, and then if it's bad enough, double up with chain.
And then the tire condom.
Huh? Tire condom?
Yeah, tire condom.
What, chains?
Oh, no. It's like chains, but it's just fabric that goes around the tire, and it, surprisingly, is almost as good as tire chains.
Huh. I've never heard of that.
It's not actually called a tire condom. I think it's called a tire glove or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to say tire condom, so fuck you.
No, it was a fair enough reasoning.
Oh, okay. I see what you're talking about. I've never seen these before.
Yeah, Y2K is like
I saw them.
it doesn't matter
in-
what tires you have after a certain point. like just sheet ice is like, traction doesn't exist.
Yeah, it was just clear ice on everything.
But yeah, I actually only reason I found out about tire condoms was because I randomly saw a video about, does this stupid looking thing even work? I was like, there's no way it works, but I want to see how bad it fails. And was completely shocked by how well it did.
That's cool.
Yeah. At least with clear ice, though, like, you can see it.
Yeah,
It's got a nice
Kinda.
shininess to it.
Yeah, but a lot of times it just looks like wet.
Yeah, but even still, like, if it's really cold and like you see wet, it's like that's probably ice.
Yeah.
At least if
But it
you've
wasn't-
lived with it long enough.
Here's the thing. It wasn't that cold throughout the day.
Yeah.
But since everything was covered in ice, the ice just wasn't melting.
Like I say, like for me, it's like if there's been like ice previously, and like even if it's like warmer the next day, if I see like shiny or slick spots, it's like, yeah, that's probably still ice.
Yeah.
But then there's
Yeah,
the fun kind of ice. Then there's black ice, which you can't see.
Yeah.
Black ice is a bitch. Like, if you're paying attention, you can see it. But you gotta be fucking on the ball.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like especially like if you're driving, it's like to the point of like almost not focusing on anything else.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I got reminded today that penguin walking is rough on the legs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember a couple years ago, I was still working at Circle K, and we got like a decent snowfall.
Mhm.
It fucking in the 3 hours that I was there, like I start my shift, and by the time it's over and I'm going to my car, I look across the street and there's a fucking Mercedes in the ditch. Just like that didn't take long.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh. Rimshee, you know what's extra fucked up? I made a plan to like hire some local youths to like shovel my route to work. In case it snows or something.
Some local Utes.
Some local youths. Yeah.
We're not in Australia.
And
Why are you speaking Australian?
I'm not speaking Australian. My cousin Vinny.
Yeah, so I have a plan for snow now for the first time since I've lived here. And then this happened.
Maybe it's just me. It's like I don't know anymore. When I hear you, just I think about the fucking vehicles.
Oh. Utes? The vehicle?
Yeah, UTE, Ute. Basically, in Australia,
Oh, that's ugly as fuck.
basically in Australia, the El Camino and the Ranchero never went away.
Yeah, that's ugly. Rimshee, you gotta pull this up.
Alright. Pull
And
what
like
up
it's
exactly?
supposed to be like a shorthand like euphemism for utility vehicle, which is how these things were sold originally. Yeah, like
Here, I'll just post a picture that you snag.
like they got like the
Oh
Malu.
my god.
That's... Yeah.
That
What
looks
the
like
fuck
a
is this?
half-assed piece of shit Camaro.
Yeah. Oh, it's like I'm scrolling through these images.
I'm not sure which
bad.
one that one is. I think the Ford ones look a little better.
I think it's all bad. Yeah, it's just all bad.
Yeah, those things are pieces of shit. Give me the Camaro any day.
They did have
It's-
one pretty cool looking one back in the 70s. It was the Holden Sandman sport van.
I don't know. I still think the Camaro, that classic look, actually is decent and accomplishes roughly the same thing.
Hey, Y2K and W, you know why they look like that, right? Because that's what they are. Oh.
Hey, here's one. I'm not saying I would drive this thing, but yeah, like that's pretty neat.
That's fine.
You know, like we're going surfing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
I
not too
don't-
bad. I would consider having one of those.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that as more of a station wagon type look, but whatever.
But I said like
Um,
that one also comes in like the UTES body style where it's got like a bed on the back.
Yeah, I also just don't like
that
modern
also-
car design, so it
That-
doubled up with.
But yeah, like
like,
it definitely works better with like this classic sort of like 70s design.
yeah.
The modern designs don't really work so well.
That
Yeah,
also
modern-
looks like you could take off the body, or not the body, the roof and sides, and it would look similar to a regular pickup truck.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely got the more car-like front, but you could definitely say, "Oh, it's just a small truck."
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a Ranger from back in the day or some shit like that. You know, before those mid-size trucks became the size of the small the full-size trucks. And full-size trucks went a size up as well.
Yeah, because like the thing with the like the Sandman there is it was based off of the Holden Monero, which was a muscle car.
Mhm. Yeah.
And I think like the best ones, like the GTSs, like they had an option for like a Chevy 350 in them. They're actually pretty sweet little muscle cars. But yeah, like they were talking. I saw a thing recently that there's talks that they're bringing the Ranchero nameplate back, and I can only imagine it's just going to be like the Ford Ute from Australia with the Ranchero name.
Man, I hope that if they bring back the Ranchero and the El Camino, they actually make it look decent, but I'm not sure how the fuck you can do that. With modern
because I said like
sensibilities.
these are basically like what you're looking at is basically the modern versions. Because as I said, like
Yeah.
the whole concept of the Ranchero and the El Camino never went away in Australia.
Oh, they looks like they did bring back the Ranchero in a weird way.
Well, like they're talking about it. Like it hasn't been officially brought back, but yet they
Well,
brought
here's
back
the-
they brought
yeah,
the
here's-
Maverick nameplate back not too long ago, even though the Maverick was a car and not a compact truck.
No, I found an article about it. There's a picture of it.
That looks like ass.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that. You know what that reminds me of? It's like a Honda Ridgeline. That's what that looks like. It's like a Ridgeline, but like with a Ford Taurus type front.
Yeah, this was just announced in June of this year. So yeah.
Then again, like I'm not sure if that's even coming to the American market because that looks like something that would be like in, say, like the South American market.
Oh god,
like
they
other
did bring
places.
back the El Camino. Fuck.
When? What? Are you sure it's not just like a fan work?
It's on the official GM, well, no, wait, this is GM Authority.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Because I've seen no announcements from General Motors about the El Camino. And then again, like, I would argue, like, that's not really a Ranchero, though. Like, there was never a Ranchero that had 4 doors.
They're calling it a Ranchero. That's what it is. That's how it works.
I said that's a Ridgeline. That's basically a Ford version of a Ridgeline. That's not a Ranchero.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at El Caminos right now. You know, I'm not a huge fan of the El Camino.
I like the old El Camino. The old El Camino's chill.
Well, yeah, because like the original El Caminos were based off of the Chevelle.
Yeah.
And like the 1970 El Camino Super Sport, that's a snazzy looking ride.
The Ranchero tended to look more truck-like in a car style, whereas the El Camino was more car-like with a bed. What was more of a car style with a truck bed.
Yeah, like I see seeing the front of the El Camino.
Well, the El Camino
like
did
that,
come
but then
later.
I see the back and I'm like, fuck, I don't like it.
Because
on
the
an
Ranchero
actual classic El Camino in person, it does look good.
Okay.
Yeah. Like the
Maybe
old.
just all these hundreds of pictures are bad.
The Ranchero is it actually beat the El Camino to market by a few years.
Yeah.
Hold on,
You need to
I'll
subscribe to
get
Tier
one.
1. Subscribe for 31 months, Stina.
Honestly, I'm looking at these pictures and they don't do it justice.
Yeah. I mean, I've only seen a handful of El Caminos in person. One of them had like racing seats in the bed.
My
facing
uncle
backwards.
had an El Camino for a while.
Ooh, that's a really nice one. This is from from Charlotte Showroom.
Well, share it.
Ooh.
Yeah, I saw that one. Still not digging it. I love the front. It's just the back's throwing me off.
That's fine. It's not everyone's gonna have the same sense of taste.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I said,
Just 'cause
I
yours is
really
shit doesn't mean we have to agree with it.
Yep.
I really like the style of the 70 Chevelle, so I am all for the 70 El Camino.
Hell yeah, Dina! Old El Caminos are the shit.
Yeah, like this one, I think has a 396 in it, but they did have the 454 as an option. Which, that's a fair bit of fucking power.
In all honesty, the El Camino just was a fun vehicle. I mean,
it's funny if you think about it. It's like the El Camino is not a truck. Like it has a truck bed, but it's not classified as a truck. And yet they had bigger V8s in them than the trucks that were being sold alongside them.
yeah. You can't make this shit up, man. It's fucking fantastic.
The 60s and 70s was a wild time in American automotive.
Yeah, it just sucks that nowadays aerodynamics are way more important than the actual appearance of a car. Most of the shit on the road nowadays, it's like, yeah, it all kind of looks the same.
Yeah, I can't really tell the difference. There's like the only way to tell the difference is like headlight or taillight shape. About it.
And that used to be the one thing that was the same for all vehicles, because they had DOT required a mandatory headlight that had to be used and was the only one authorized.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, a lot of people were like, oh, you know, like, it was the 80s, you know, that, like, really killed everything. It's like, well, like, not really. If you look
No,
back, there were a
was
lot
so
of
much-
iconic fucking cars in the 80s.
There were a lot, and 90s started out with some decent ones, but that's where it really started to come down.
Yeah, the 90s
Yeah.
is where everything started to get really homogenized.
Yeah.
It stopped being about the iconic appearance and keeping tradition of the iconic appearance of the car, and became, well, fuel efficiency and everything in the name of fuel efficiency. So you'd increase the aerodynamics, you'd do this, you'd do that. And when you're trying to go for something aerodynamic, unless you come up with some radically different design that is vastly more aerodynamic than its competitors, chances are you're all just going to homogenize around one single thing.
Yeah. It went from, is this cool and fun to drive, to, is this cheap and safe to drive?
Yeah.
Yeah, for the most part.
We have to find that happy medium, because if it's not fun to drive, people are looking for self-driving cars now because it's not fun to drive. Well,
One of the reasons why Tesla is so big is because apparently Teslas are really fun to drive.
yeah, I don't
Also, like,
trust
I have
There
no
were-
idea.
there was
I'm not-
also, especially, another thing I like about 80s cars is, like, there was, like, this thing that was going on in the 80s where it's just like, oh yeah, we're just gonna take, you know, like, rather pedestrian-looking cars and make them into absolutely terrifying monsters.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at some 80s cars now. Okay, I know what people are talking about. I don't necessarily disagree. Wow, was 80s the time of the pop-up headlights? Or was that?
Oh yeah,
90s?
pop-up headlights were everywhere in the fucking 80s.
Yeah.
They even lasted into the 90s for a while.
You know, I thought that was cool when I was a kid, and then I saw one where only one came up, and I was like, oh, yeah, that could be a problem.
Actually, it does. A car that I kind of consider to be a little ahead of its time was probably the Lotus Esprit. Because that thing
Well,
had,
yeah,
you know, like
during-
the almost like the Lamborghini lines and like the pop-up headlights back in '77.
Yeah, I'll agree that the 80s was around the time where you could see the influence of starting to homogenize a bit, but you also had crazy cars like the DeLorean or some of these other sports cars that just fucking nuts.
Yeah, except the DeLorean is really bad.
Oh no, it was horrible, but we're talking design.
Because it's like, oh yeah, all the body paneling is made out of stainless steel. Yeah, and it's really fucking heavy, and the engine can't handle it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a reason I said like the DeLorean and all these sports cars that were out there. I separated it intentionally.
Yeah. It's like,
Yeah,
then you have cars like the Countach, which looks fucking ridiculous. Like, in that awesome 80s way, but it's like, you would never want to drive this thing because its clutch is fucking horrific.
You know, the 80s Cadillacs look pretty cool. I dig those.
yeah. Honestly, with the DeLorean, it's one of my favorite cars purely because of how ridiculous it is. And
yeah.
I wish that a huge part of what went wrong with the DeLorean was the guy who came up with it squandered all the fucking money on Concorde flights and shit like that, and didn't actually put any effort into the car itself once it was being sold. And it just fucked with the company and fucked a potentially good thing up entirely. Was the DeLorean a bad car? Yes. Did it have potential? Also yes.
Did you ever see that video about like the DeLorean's doors and how you actually can open them in tight spaces?
Mm-hmm.
That blew my mind.
Well, it's
Like-
just
Yeah,
like
there's,
how it's like how the Tesla vehicles that have those gull wing doors can open up in tight spaces too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
It
there's
just
a certain
it just
way
doesn't
to
look
do
like it
gull
should.
wing.
Yeah.
There's a certain way to do gull wing, and there's ways not to.
A straight
But,
hinge. That a straight hinge does not do it normally.
Cause yeah, it's like gull wing doors. Like those go back to like fucking the Mercedes 300 back in 1954, I believe. That was like the first major car to have them.
Where the DeLorean could go over 88, that's just when you start traveling back in time. So.
Or when
That's
your
not-
transmission starts to self-destruct.
No, the DeLorean could. Yeah, in all seriousness, the DeLorean could not go 88. But we're also talking about a DeLorean that had been modified with a flux capacitor. That's gotta add at least 20 horsepower.
Yeah.
I will say though,
Probably had a
one-
sweet ass bumper sticker. That's like 5 horsepower right there.
180. 180's American car that I wouldn't mind having or at least driving. 87 Thunderbird Turbo Coupe
Yeah,
with the fucking snowflake pattern alloy wheels.
80s was not a bad time for muscle cars in general.
Oh no, like
It was not
fucking,
good, but it was not bad.
I don't know.
I'd say
I'm
one-
looking at this car. I'm not digging it.
Looking at what?
The 87 Thunderbird Turbo Coupe.
I like it.
You have to remember, Jables is the age of a pea.
I mean, like, it's not as aggressive looking as, say, the 87 Buick GNX, also known as Darth Vader.
Yeah, honestly, looking at these, yeah, the 1980s was a good time for muscle cars. They all did start to homogenize a little, but muscle cars were always no, it's not about cutting through the air, it's about forcing it out of the way.
Yeah.
And that was the thing, and, like, the Thunderbird was never a muscle car, it was a personal luxury car.
It was supposed to be.
No, it was never considered a muscle car.
It was, well, at the time, yeah. Nowadays, it's looked at as one.
Yeah, like, the Turbo Coupe would be considered, like, if it was in a racing game, you could see it under retro muscle. Same with, like, the Monte Carlo.
Yeah.
I tell you what, though, 80s was the fastest that NASCAR ever was, and probably ever will be again. Fucking Bill Elliott set the all-time lap speed record at Talladega, 212 miles an hour in an 87 Thunderbird.
Well, it's just how, like, with the javelin throw, they hit a point, and then where the world record was set, and then they just changed the rules. They changed the requirements for how the javelin was made and some weird stuff like that, and it prevented the javelin from being thrown as far as it had been in the past. And now it's gonna take some incredibly crazy motherfucker in order to get even close to the record.
Yep.
Yeah.
Speaking of javelins, AMC Javelin. Pretty nice little muscle cars. So yeah, that was something.
Do you guys want to
Yeah,
play a
we
game?
just spent a half hour talking about cars for no reason.
I mean, I don't mind. I fucking love talking shop and cars and shit.
Do you guys want to play a game?
Game.
This is more for the audience because you guys will be able to see the article. But Rimshee, I just want you to show the audience this this guy's image, and we're gonna play. How old do you think this person is, everybody?
Wait, what?
That's not the game I would have played.
What?
An 84 town car that ran on propane? I'm sorry, Y2K&W just kind of blew my mind a bit with that.
Wait, what?
How do you run a car that fucking heavy on? I don't even know, man. Yeah, it would be fucking
Hank?
gutless.
Yeah.
I'm amazed it could move
give
at all.
Somebody give that to Hank Hill.
I am legit amazed that it could move at all.
Okay, now audience, let's see your guesses in chat.
Oh,
How old do you think this person is? Oh, Rimshee, cover up that trophy.
It's a little late.
Yeah, it's a little late.
Mickey 40? Come on, that's being a little mean. 28, not bad. Y2K.
Good guess.
Burr, mid 30s.
I'm gonna guess 80.
Right.
All right, everybody got their answers locked in? This person's 12.
Allegedly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
allegedly 12.
Yeah. Well, no, it seems to be like proven and stuff.
I'm sticking with allegedly, motherfucker.
Yeah, that's fair. This motherfucker looks 40.
You want to take it?
Yeah, I'll take it.
I mean, like, he almost looks like late college, like first year NFL.
Oh, I know. It's like that scene from the Benchwarmers where they have that guy from the Dominican Republic, and he just passes him a paper with his picture on it, and it just says "I am 12" written in crayon. Yeah. Yeah, so 12-year-old football player with tattoo, facial hair, sends social media into tailspin. It's not a real tattoo, by the way. Jeremiah Johnson, a 12-year-old running back from Fort Worth, Texas, has the internet dumbfounded over his size and maturity. The athlete became a viral sensation after a photo of him sporting what appeared to be facial hair and a tattoo surfaced on social media following the 2022 Youth National Championships over the weekend in Miami, where he was crowned MVP. Johnson, who's Dallas Dragons Elite Academy. Ooh. DEA, I don't like that. Team won the championship. Won the championship game, can be seen holding the trophy that read 12U Division I Most Valuable Player. In a separate video, Johnson can be heard claiming that he is indeed 12 years old. Generation Next, a national youth sports school and network in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, shared photos of Johnson to Facebook and Instagram, identifying him as a 12-year-old football player. Nonetheless, not everyone on the internet is convinced that the phenom is a preteen, including one NFL pro. If that 12-year-old really 12, my son not playing football. These kids built different.
Fucking Tyreek Hill.
Fair point. Yeah.
Yeah, which
Miami.
kid is he talking about?
Yeah.
This is really funny because, like, you look at this picture, it looks like someone photoshopped that head onto him.
Yeah.
It kind of does.
Yeah. Because, like, everything else says, like, teenager. Like, the skin doesn't look like much wear and tear body-wise. But, like, face, that's a rough 12.
Everything but the face I could totally see like maybe 16, somewhere between 12 and 17. The face says, "I've seen a lot of shit."
Yeah.
He don't sound 12 either. I just listened to a video clip of him. It's like, I don't know.
Dude, that kid's gonna make so much money buying vapes and booze for all of his friends in high school.
Holy fuck, man. Sorry,
Hi, cats!
I just read a bit ahead. God damn.
Love you, cats. Thank you for the 99
Hey,
biddies.
thanks, cats.
He's bigger than I am.
He's bigger than I am.
Yeah. Merry Christmas, cats.
5'11" and almost 200 pounds. Jesus.
Yeah, 12. Yeah.
I can't get over the fact that it almost looks like a bad Photoshop.
Like, he is literally like an inch and a half taller than me and outweighs me by 40 pounds. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, is it even fair to let him compete?
Hopefully he doesn't have that disease like Andre the Giant had. Gigantism. I don't remember the actual name of the disease.
Imagine, like, you go to your kids, little minor league football game, and you see your kid just get stiff-armed off into the fucking stands by this dude.
No, you just see your kid disappear in a cloud of dust.
Just fucking.
You know what? I bet his
out
mom
my
is
way.
half his height.
Yeet! Fucking sending defenders over like fucking bowling pins.
Oh man. Imagine your daughter's going out on her first date ever. And it's this
What are
kid.
you doing? What are you doing with that 40-year-old? I should have you arrested, sir.
That was my point entirely, Art.
Yeah.
That was my point entirely, Liz. It's just like, what about the kids on the other team? That ain't fucking fair.
Or maybe he's gay. Imagine your son comes home with this dude. It's like, what the fuck is going on here?
Coach, get off the field.
Yeah. Yeah, it took like a good 5-10 minutes for me to convince Dina about this kid. She was like, no, nope.
She
Not
still
happening.
says she wants an ID.
Yeah. Oh no.
Yeah, I'm not.
I'd
not
want
convinced. I'll accept that it might be reality, but I'm still not convinced.
No, I'd want to meet the doctor that was there when this kid was born.
Yeah.
Before
Also-
I like classify, yes, that person's 12.
For anybody that knows, the story of the Bishop Sycamore High School football team fiasco, there's a lot of fuckery that goes on in youth sports. There's a lot
Especially
of shady
in
shit
Texas.
that happens.
Yeah, especially in Texas, because football's huge in Texas.
Yeah, most, for those who don't know, most of the time when you are going to play, like, Little League football, Little League baseball, or any of those sports, they get the dads to volunteer as the coaches so that they don't have to pay someone to coach the kids. And they always put that parent as the coach of their kid's team. So you either end up with a dad who is letting their kid get away with goddamn everything and putting them in the best spots and all that, favoritism, or he's extra hard on his kid and all the other kids get to slide by a bit easier. It's not good.
Yeah, like, that picture from 2020 is the one that kind of fucks me up the most. It's just like,
Which one?
The one directly beneath Tyree Kill's tweet. Because, like, in some, it's like, if you, like, it's like, yeah, he does look kind of young there, but it's fucking weird.
I could see a teen. Still don't see 12.
It's like, I know I'm looking at a real image, but for some reason I'm getting the Uncanny Valley feel.
Oh, yeah. Well, even the image below that, where he's...
Oh, that one's even worse, but this one that is on the screen from 2020, I could at least see that being a teenager. I could see that as, oh, that's like maybe 16, 17. Whatever.
Yeah, like the one where he's in the Dragon's jersey, it's like, that's a grown man.
Yeah, this one looks like
that's a grown ass man.
40-year-old man's face on a kid's body. Straight up.
I said I wouldn't go as far as 40, but he definitely don't look fucking 12.
Yeah, I'm not being exact, but still.
So that's the thing, is like, if he's like, because the way, like, most people stop growing physically by the time they're 16 years old.
This kid's gonna be so huge when he's 16.
I didn't grow proper facial hair till I was in my 20s.
So it's like if he is like legit, as I doubt it, but like if he is like legit 12, it's like, can you imagine the fucking NFL scouts that are already looking at him?
Oh, he's being sent free shoes as we speak. Like,
it's like there are gonna be like, not only like there are gonna be so many college programs. It's just like, oh, you want a scholarship? Don't worry, we'll pay for everything.
How about you just we know you haven't graduated high school and you're only 14. But let's just come on. Let's go.
I'm trying to imagine what it would be like if this kid at age 12 was playing for a college team.
Well, as I said, Y2K, on average, most people finish growing by the time they're 16 years old, on average.
Yeah. Yeah, I stopped growing.
So basically, we're saying, you know, like, if he is legit 12, then he has minimum like 4 more years of like bone and muscle growth to go through.
Yeah, if he
probably
sticks
going
to the average.
He's probably going to be at least 6'4", 6'5".
That is, of course, assuming that he hasn't stopped growing, which is not likely at his age.
Yeah.
Yeah, assuming it's legit.
Yeah.
I wanna see what this kid's parents look like.
I want to see what this kid's diet is like.
Yeah, like, this is a legitimate question. Like, the hell are you feeding that boy?
Yeah.
Damn!
We add in a little human growth hormone and
I mean, like they used to, like, you know, especially like with wrestlers and stuff, you know, like big, like, muscly wrestler dudes, they always used to make the joke of like, oh, them boys is corn fed, and it's like, well, goddamn, did you give him an entire trough? What the fuck?
Have a good night, Bird. Yeah, I'm trying to find. There's. I'm deep diving, guys. What's happening?
how bad is it?
I don't know yet. I had to find what his mom's was in the article, but it's sort of like tucked away in the article.
His mom's like 4'6". Dad's 5'3". He's gonna be 7 foot.
Oh, this kid was on some sort of podcast. Okay. His mom keeps things relatively private. I respect that.
Yeah. Oh no, Liz. Like we're not saying like that it doesn't happen because obviously it does happen. Like there are plenty of big motherfuckers in sports.
Also, we need a title for this week.
God damn. I don't know how to spell that, but
Get damn.
Gat
G-A-T
DAYUMMMMM.
Yep, get damn. That looks right.
Yeah.
I would have gone so like that's not a ranchero and neither is he.
I like that one better.
Hold on.
All right. Let's see. Can I set up a poll on this bitch? I should be able to. I'm going to set up a poll. We're going to find out.
These oots. These oots.
I kind of like that one.
What?
Change it to a
These-
J, and I think it's perfect.
These oots?
No, like Jeeze. Like make it a J. Jeeze oots. Then it's perfect.
Got it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Y2K. This is the type of audience participation that we want around here. Yeah,
because
I unironically said that as we were reacting to this article. I'm like, Jesus.
yeah. We want audience participation because we don't want to do the work.
Also, sometimes you just come up with really funny shit.
Yeah.
I mean, mine was okay, but that one's great.
Yeah, we're no we're no the fat electrician. We don't have the ability to just always have it on.
Oh man, his teammates nicknamed him Mr. 4X. That's hilarious. That's cute. No, I think I'm digging around on Facebook. I think he's actually 12. It just looks 40.
I mean, there are some people that just mature like really quickly.
Yeah, he got his adult face real quick. The rest of the body's just trying to catch up.
I mean, it's not that far behind.
Yeah.
Not in this picture, but yeah, in general, not
It's like-
too far behind.
It's like,
Yeah.
damn, oh, big boy.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, something else that popped up, the trailer for
We don't wanna
that
talk about
90s
your
show
dick.
came out.
The trailer for what?
That 90s show was dropped today.
Oh,
The full trailer.
ooh, that black turbo coupe. I like that. Like that little red pinstripe too.
Alright, nobody's into it as well.
I mean, I'll be perfectly honest. I never watched that 70s show.
Oh, okay.
I've seen that 70s show, and it's kind of interesting, but the concept of the 90s, it's gonna be, oh, look at all these geometric shapes, man!
It's like I caught a few episodes of it, and it's just like, oh yeah, Red and Kitty are funny, but yeah.
Yeah, well, Red and Kitty are back in it. It's Eric and Donna's kid is staying with them for the summer. That's how they're playing. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I'm another reason why I'm kind of like, because I still like have pretty clear and fond memories of the 90s, and I don't want to get depressed.
Yeah, 90s was all geometric shapes, clear plastic electronics.
Which were cool.
Hey man, them first iMacs, like them iMac computers that came in like the different colors, those were pretty
those were
neat.
kind of cool. I'm not arguing against the clear plastic electronics. I think that should make a comeback, but it's also not as interesting as it used to be.
Oh, you can still get clear plastic electronics.
Oh, I know you can. I'm saying
for prisons.
I know. I'm saying that clear plastic electronics aren't these days wouldn't be what they used to be, because it used to be you had capacitors that were massive, you had coils, you had transformers, you had all this.
That's
now
why fucking like N64s and like Game Boys were like the coolest shit to get in clear plastic models.
Yeah, I had the clear plastic Game Boy Pocket.
Nowadays, it's all chips and more chips and more chips.
Oh, we'll buy
Cats.
cats. Thanks for the
For
biddies.
3 bits. Have fun. Oh,
yeah,
Cats,
I
love you, Cats.
Hold on, Cats. Before you go, all weekend long, I'm doing Christmas stuff in one of the servers. Maybe this one, maybe next server. I haven't decided yet. But I'm doing Christmas stuff all weekend long. So
I actually had to do some maintenance on my Game Boy Color here soon, because the sound doesn't work anymore, and also my Pokemon Yellow version, I need to replace the internal battery in it because it doesn't save anymore.
Luckily, that's...
Yeah, it's fixed easily enough, but it's just I have to go through the trouble of getting the stuff to do it and opening it up.
Yeah, you basically need an iFixit kit these days.
Fortunately, my dad's got a degree in electronics, so I could just hand it over to him and it'll probably get fixed no problem.
Yeah, it's just that stupid specialty triangle screw.
Yeah, like you do need like a specialty tool for that. It's like, some people say it's like, oh, just use a pair of needle noses. It's like, no, way too easy to strip it. Not gonna take the chance.
It can work, but most needle nose aren't made to be triangles. They're made to be arches.
So yeah, I'm gonna have to get like a specific tool to open it up. And then like the batteries are actually pretty common. You can actually order them in bulk off like Amazon and shit. So.
Yeah, well, it's a pretty standard like watch battery. So.
As for like fixing the sound issue in the Game Boy itself, yeah, my dad's gonna have to look into that. It's probably something with the circuit board.
Yeah, I mean, if you were anywhere near me, I've got those parts, or I've got those tools.
Yeah, you just get them from like an iFixit kit.
Yeah. I've got an iFixit kit. I'm pretty sure I have those tools. I'm gonna check.
Yeah, because like you got like the specific bit for like the screws in the Game Boy where it's like that, as you said, it's like that weird triangle shape. It's a 3-prong thing. And then you have the screw that holds the cartridge together that looks like an asterisk.
Yeah.
I have never seen... Okay, so I've got my iFixit kit in front of me, and I've got some spline stuff, some Starbit stuff, flathead, Phillips, Phillips weirdness. It's basically a Phillips, but it's missing one of its legs, so it's only got 3 of those flutes.
Yeah, Nintendo uses those.
Yeah.
As far as I know.
But it's also got this weird oval bit where it's a cylinder like you would get. It's like a socket, but it's ovaled out as opposed to being a hex or anything like that. Fucking weird. Security bits are fucking bullshit, man. Like, there are certain times it makes sense. You don't want someone messing with your installation of an AED setup, so totally fair to install security bits. Same with if you're dealing with handicap placards and whatnot. But why the fuck do you put that shit on every goddamn thing you have?
Yeah, it's a pain in the ass.
Well, that's the thing. Is like a lot of these companies. It seems especially rampant with like Japanese companies, where like they really don't want you to try and fix shit yourself.
Yeah, the thing is, you just get your kit and then you're done.
And to be fair, American companies aren't much better. Japanese,
I think
just,
like one of the
have
worst.
been at it longer.
I think one of the worst offenders, especially going back to cars, actually, is fucking Mazda.
Yeah.
Mazda goes out of their way to make sure that their stuff is confusing as fuck to try and figure out what the problem is.
Oh, BMW
yeah, you gotta
does
get
that
a
too.
13.5 millimeter socket set.
You know, they specifically they have like specific codes and shit that they only teach to their like Mazda certified mechanics and shit, so that regular mechanics can't fucking figure it out.
Oh, BMW does some wild shit too. Like, hey guys, get this. Guess where I put the battery? It's inside the engine. Why is it there?
I mean,
I'm being hyperbolic, but it's not far off. It's like, why?
No, I'll go as far as to say it's like, if you're somebody who like gets a BMW or a Mercedes at this point, you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Enjoy your new money pit.
Yep.
Cars in general are going that way. It really sucks because, like, my truck, I can change my oil, I can add steering fluid, I can add coolant, I can do a lot of the work myself, which is one of the reasons I really don't want to replace it. But my truck's also 25 years old, and I don't have the technical know-how to be able to get it back up to 100% running order. And then on top of that, I don't have the money to get it back up to 100% running order. So I gotta look at a loan to get a new car, but I can't. Just everything just piles on and it starts being fucking shit.
Yeah.
It's a new car. Oh, you want to change your oil? Yeah, we're not gonna tell you how.
You want to change your oil? Guess where the oil pan is? It's behind the exhaust for some reason.
Like that's one thing that I like about my car is that, like, you know, the engine in my car, like, it's essentially the Mazda L engine. It was an engine that was introduced in 2001 and has basically not changed since then. It's just a dirt simple transversely mounted inline 4.
Well, that's my whole thing about getting a car. It's like, should I not? And then I start racking up. I'm like, okay, insurance, taxes.
Yeah, cars are expensive.
Gas.
But that's because they're made to be expensive. Get a motorcycle. It's expensive, but that's because you end up enjoying yourself too much.
Yeah, it's my problem with motorcycles is other drivers. It's not motorcycles.
Yeah.
Themselves. I've seen how people drive and shit. And it's not. If I was living in my hometown, I'd have a motorcycle for sure.
It's actually it's funny when Addie came out here to visit. When I was driving around with her, she was actually like really uncomfortable because she saw all of these people on motorcycles around here with no protection whatsoever, no pads, no helmets, and she's just like getting increasingly more uncomfortable as we're driving around town.
Yep.
It's just like, what is wrong with these people?
Yeah, not to everybody. Wear your gear.
At a minimum, wear your helmets. That's... I mean, actually with this, I have a hard time with it because I am very solidly... I wear all of my... I wear full textiles, I wear gloves, I wear boots, I wear a full face helmet. But at the same time, I don't think people should have to, but if they don't make people at least wear helmets, then they end up with gray matter on the street, and that will traumatize more people. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I think a helmet law is appropriate. But I don't know. I think it really depends.
I don't think it's inappropriate, but
Open highway in the middle of nowhere. Go for it if you want. City driving, wear a helmet. For sure.
I will always suggest wearing a helmet and full gear, textiles or leathers. But
yeah, but we're getting into like shoulds and oughts.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing, Liz, is that like there are a lot of people also that like have passengers that wear no gear around here too.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I it's like that's fucking dumb.
Oh, somebody with their girlfriend who's just wearing a sundress and flip-flops with no helmet on?
What about the
riding on the
ones
back?
where the chick is sitting in the seat and she's obviously got nothing on from the waist down?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yep. Like I said, sundress and flip-flops.
I mean, like, most of the time, like, people's gear around here is like, oh, what's your motorcycle gear? It's like t-shirt, jeans, and sunglasses. Okay, you do you.
At least wear a leather vest.
It's funny,
this.
though, like,
I'll
people
say
that,
this,
like...
Go ahead.
People that ride, like, Harleys or Triumphs or, like, the big Hondas, like the Gold Wings and stuff, are usually the ones that you see without gear, whereas the guys riding the fucking crotch rockets almost always have the shit.
Yeah. Because
okay,
they're looking to go fast.
I can see it a little more with cruisers and touring bikes.
Yeah.
I disagree with it still, but I can see it a little more.
I understand it.
I'll say this though, the rest of the United States needs to get on California's level and legalize lane splitting. Now, keep in mind, I'm talking about reasonable lane splitting, not going 120 miles an hour down the freeway, weaving in and out of cars.
Yeah, don't be one of those people.
Yeah.
If you're just filtering,
just
if you're
filtering
forward,
scooching your way through in the city.
Filtering forward to a stoplight, sure. Or, if you're going through 20 mile, 30 mile an hour traffic on the freeway, sure, lane split. Not a big deal. That's going to reduce the amount of time cars have in terms of getting to the front, because they don't have a motorcycle's length. They also have to be behind. But the moment that everything's at the speed limit, you're kind of being a little ridiculous, weaving in and out of traffic with everyone else at the speed limit.
No, Y2K, I legalized lane splitting, but they're at fault if they hit your car. Done. Solve that problem. Yeah. If you're splitting lanes, even if it is legal, like, they can't pull you over for splitting lanes.
Yeah,
But if you're splitting lanes and you hit somebody else's car, that's on you.
because the
Yeah.
thing is, like, it's relying on personal judgment at that point because cars don't have the reaction time that bikes do.
Yeah.
It's like, you can move to avoid it, I probably can't.
Yeah, most people hate the idea of lane splitting, and they'll couch it in, oh, he's gonna bounce off my quarter panel, or something like that. More often than not, and don't get me wrong, that is valid, but most people just hate the idea of someone getting ahead of them in line.
Yeah. Did you
Yeah.
see that whole study that was done that if people actually followed the rules of merging onto freeways, we wouldn't actually have rush hour? But people are so fucking dumb and don't want people to get ahead of them that they're just cutting people off, and that's what's leading to a lot of the
Oh yeah,
backup.
it's
That
always,
doesn't
I'm the most
surprise me.
important. Me. I have to get there as soon as possible.
There's
Yeah.
also the fact that motherfuckers will go up on ramps at like 30 miles an hour, and they'll try merging, and they're only doing like 40 miles an hour once they hit the freeway. Meanwhile, all the traffic is going at 55, 65, or higher.
Yeah, the
Motherfucker,
ramp is...
the on-ramp is for speeding up to freeway speeds. You're not city driving once you get on that motherfucker.
Yeah, you have to be prepared to merge as soon as you get to that point.
To be fair, I've been on some on-ramps that are pretty heavy curves, but they give you enough space once you're actually up there.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I admit, I'm probably one of those guys that pisses those people off because, like, I get onto the highway, it's like, and 65 miles an hour, lock in the cruise control.
But at least you're the speed limit.
Oh yeah, I'll do that, but I won't do that in the left lane either. That's the other thing.
No, of course not.
Yeah.
I always try to stay to the center lanes, but it's like, people, I don't know, man. It seems like, especially around here, then again, it's probably any major metro area that has interstates. It's like, if you're going the posted speed limit, people hate your fucking guts.
Well, if you're going
Well,
to
it's
post...
like...
Nah, it's more if you're in the left lane and going just the speed limit.
No,
Go fuck
even in the
yourself.
middle lanes, they fucking hate you.
It depends.
Well, look at
I've had
look at the
so
Bay
many
Area.
people shriek and dart around me just for going 65.
Look at the Bay Area. There are so many... if you go on 101, there is almost zero probability you'll actually hit the speed limit for a significant portion of 101 because it's just always backed up. Meanwhile, 280, it's become trafficy more recently, but more often than not, the official speed limit is always 65. However, you'd be surprised how many people even go close to the speed limit. It's always 70 or 80.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
the-
it's
like,
always it's always like 10 or 15 over, and if you're not doing that, you're the asshole somehow.
Yeah, I tend to, when I'm doing like freeway driving, I'll drive like 5 miles per hour over.
At
Well,
most.
Yeah.
statute of limitations is over, but yeah, a lot of the times when I would drive home from the military base, it would be like an 8-hour drive according to the GPS, and I would always see how many hours I could knock off that fucker. I one time did it in 6 hours, 5 or 6 hours.
Yeah.
My dad made the drive from Seattle to Spokane. My oldest sister was in labor in like an hour and a half. It's a 5-hour drive.
Yeah. I think the fastest I have ever driven, period, is like 80 miles an hour.
The fastest I have ever driven, as in me driving, in a four-wheeled vehicle, is the the governor's speed limit on my truck, which is around 98 miles an hour.
Oh, boo! You guys suck.
I specified in my truck
Yeah.
on a four-wheeled
Okay,
vehicle.
that's fair.
In my case, I just don't see the need to drive that quickly. I just never have.
All
Like,
I know,
I use my cruise control religiously.
I used to too. I used to throw mine at 55 for a while there, but I always stayed in the slow lane.
Oh no, like I use my cruise control even on like normal city streets. Because I don't have to keep my foot on the pedal. I don't have to constantly glance down to check my speed, and I can just focus more on the people around me, which are my main concerns.
Yeah, it depends on how like your whole light system works and everything, and so like I'd have to see how your city works before I do that.
I was gonna say, where I am, there are too many stoplights and stop signs for me to be able to do that.
Yeah, there's
Yeah, I've got decent enough spacing most of the time that I can get away with it.
Where I grew up, there's like a 15-mile stretch of highway that's almost entirely straight. The speedometer stops at 120. I don't know what was actually happening in the car. I just know that needle was there, and I think we were still going faster.
What kind of Pontiac Y2K? Just out of curiosity.
Yeah.
You were saying, Tables?
Oh, nothing. I was just going into how fast I've driven.
Yeah, I won't go into
I
how
also
fast
have
driven
like
on a motorcycle.
Yeah, I also had like exceptional circumstance where this highway that I drove all the time was just a straight highway with just wheat fields on the sides.
Mm-hmm.
And you could see a cop a mile away, so it didn't even matter.
All right, I got a weird question for you. We obviously know the actual speed difference will be pretty obvious, but safety-wise, what is crazier, driving 60 miles an hour, or no, let's go with driving 50 miles an hour on a 25 mile an hour curvy country road, or doing 90 miles an hour on a 55 or 65 mile an hour freeway?
Which one's safer?
Well, we know which one's safer. I'm pretty sure.
Like, okay, hold on. Say that question again.
So,
it's like,
which one is crazier?
Oh, which one's crazier? Probably the curvy road. Yeah. It depends on the road, though, too.
Yeah, it depends on just how the curvature of the road is.
Yeah, how maintained is that road? How heavy are the curves? Like,
well, that's why I said a country road.
Yeah, so
those
like
don't
dirt
get
and
maintained
gravel?
as often.
Are you talking like dirt and gravel type shit?
Not quite dirt and gravel, but it does have asphalt.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like an asphalt road that gets resurfaced like maybe every 15 years.
If you're lucky.
Okay. Because, actually, that's not always true.
Okay, so which one's crazy or which one's more fun?
Well, I can tell you which one's more fun. It's going to be on a motorcycle on that curvy country road.
Fuck yeah, it is.
I guess like it should also specify, like what you're driving.
Yeah, it does depend because
like driving some of those country roads in that Amazon van, it's like, yeah, I better do the speed limiter a little under, or I will fucking roll this thing.
Yeah, and also like speed limits are weird because sometimes they're appropriate. Sometimes it's a nice curvy road, and it's like you can definitely go faster, but maybe the speed limit's a little lower because there's more traffic, so they don't want you cutting the curves a little bit.
Well, like the main road through my town is a curvy country road that has a speed limit of 40 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And yet, the wife and I will get... Well, the wife more so. I get frustrated, but I just shrug and move on. People will drive the road 20 or 30 miles an hour. The speed limit's goddamn 40. I'm doing it in a I'm doing it in a truck that's 25 years old. I'm able to go at minimum the speed limit. What the fuck is your excuse in your little goddamn sports car, you piece of shit?
No, okay, so if your curvy road has a speed limit of 45, you can definitely drive 50 to 55 on that shit. So like
I will say there are sections of this road it is smarter to go 40 or 35, but there aren't many sections that force you into
Yeah, but
that.
don't those parts have signs being like, hey?
Nope. All the ones that have all the ones that have signs, you can go whatever speed you're going. Maybe slow down a little. The 3 or 4 spots that don't have signs, generally you need to slow way the fuck down.
So when I was in driver's ed, my driver's ed class was through this program where like retired cops teach you how to drive, essentially. And a lot of that class was, so this is what these signs mean. So when you see like the curve and it's like the yellow sign and it says like the speed limit there, that's mostly for like when it's like rainy out or worse weather conditions and stuff. So, during summer, you're probably good. Don't worry about it too much.
Yeah, my favorite part is...
So this is a regular speed limit sign. You can go like 5 to 10 over. Somebody's probably not going to pull you over. It's like Jesse's retired cop teacher does like... that's some of the best driving instruction, though. It's just like, you can go a little over. You'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Don't be excessive.
Well,
pay attention to your shit.
It's kind of like the CHP Riders course for motorcycles. I mean, I'm pretty sure they hire someone, but I know that they work with, are retired from, or are active as cops. Highway patrolmen.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they also sit there and teach you in class work, and then they take you out and teach you how to ride on these tiny 125cc motorcycles. And my god, those are fun. I ended up just happening to be able to ride on their one of their 2 newest motorcycles. Like, our class was the first class to be able to use them new. And it was just a little Honda Grom, and it was so much fun.
Oh, yeah.
That's not quite mini bike racing levels of small motorcycle, but it's tiny.
Yeah. It's cute. It's fun.
Also, like, I'll just go ahead and say it's like if it's like actively fucking snowing, or like, like snow on the road and like fucking ice and shit, 10 under at least. Don't be stupid.
Yeah.
If you're a local and you know the roads, you might be able to get away with something higher. But we're talking having experienced these sort of conditions for at least 10 years.
Yeah.
And really, knowing your vehicle over that entire time.
Like, I was in driver's ed in the winter. So, me learning to drive was in the snow. So I'm pretty confident in the snow. It was weird when spring rolled around and everything melted. I was like, wow, this is smooth.
It's like, wow, the car handles better than I remember it.
Yeah. I was like, I was ready to fucking steer out of a fishtail at any second. It's like, I don't have to do that. It's dry.
That's a Grom, by the way, with a person for perspective.
That's cute. I like that. I like that a lot.
Like, no joke. That thing was fucking fun.
Hey, I see Pav.
Hey, Puff.
Also,
Barbaros!
another bit of advice, and I'm sure Jabel's got the same. Like, they tell you, like, if you do start to slide, turn into it. Don't try and correct.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it
Because if you
depends on how
try and
fast you're
jerk
going.
the other way, like, yeah, depending on how fast you're going, if you try and jerk the other way, you're just going to make it way worse. Because then you'll go into a spin.
Yeah, there was one time I was just in my hometown. I was driving like 10 miles per hour, and I tried to make a turn because I was driving over to my buddy's place, and the car just like hit this patch of ice and just started sliding, but it was real slow. And
Yeah, it's like
there was like a fresh snow berm over there. I was gonna hit the snow berm, and I just sort of let go and just sort of let it happen. Just sort of slid into it, lit a cigarette. All right.
Also,
this is happening.
Pavros, never hop onto the freeway on a Grom. Just don't. You will not make it up to speed. And I don't mean you specifically. The bike's not capable of it for anyone.
Oh yeah. No, that's for neighborhood cruising.
One of the most harrowing...
that's tooling around town. That's it.
Yeah.
One of the most harrowing driving experiences I've ever had was doing that Amazon job and driving this shitty fucking Fiat with bald front tires and freezing rain.
Oh.
And at one point, the entire van starts to go sideways. Because I have no traction on the front wheels. And it's front wheel drive, so... Yeah, I slid right past somebody's driveway. That was fun. I'm glad I don't do that job anymore.
Yeah, I'm glad you don't do that job anymore too, other than the fact that you're not working.
Yeah.
Hope you find a job, man.
Although, I will say, like, today was one of those days where it's like, I'm kind of fine not having a job right now. Because when the wind chill is like minus 37, it's like, I don't want to fucking go out there. You kidding me?
I don't blame you. Yeah, it was in the 60s today at my work. Way too fucking warm.
Oh, fuck. We're gonna have freezing rain again tonight, so... Second layer of ice, here we come. Let's go. Okay. Party.
Oh, yeah. And it's always the best where if, like, you still have some lingering ice or wet spots and more comes down.
Oh, yeah. No, it's worse than that. The ice didn't even melt. Like, the most the ice melted was enough for some of the ice to fall off of the power lines. which I had to use for traction while walking around. I'd see one of those.
So, yeah.
Step in there.
Now you're gonna have Now you're gonna have a new slick layer of ice over a compacted, hardened layer of ice beneath. That's the fun shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I need to figure out some new routes to more areas with like some grass and stuff that I can walk on, so I can get to school.
Yep. Cleats.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could help a bit.
See, here's the thing. The entire time I've lived here, this is the first time something like this has happened. So it's fucking irritating.
It's really funny when this shit happens down south. And just
How
like
the
entire cities shut down.
Hold on, Pavros. How the fuck do your door's latching mechanism freeze so that it does not close.
Yeah, I could
How do
understand
you
if it doesn't
manage
open.
Yeah,
Why
I've
would you
had
leave it open all
difficulty
night?
opening my doors.
Yeah, I could see it getting frozen shut, but how do you get it frozen open?
Also, just get a hairdryer. Done.
It doesn't latch.
Yeah, but why was your latch open for it to freeze that way? Yeah,
How-
get a
I mean,
long
like,
extension cable.
If the latch is stuck, that sounds more like a lubrication issue.
Was the latch closed and then when you opened it, it didn't reclose? Get some WD-40, baby.
Yeah, that does not sound like a freezing issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just sounds like it's seized up because of some other issue.
Yeah. If the lock froze, I could maybe see that, but... No, it's a freezing... I don't trust you.
Okay. The normal position for your latch is closed. Why was it open when it froze?
Did you leave your door open so that when it froze, it was already in the open position? Because that's the only way I can see that happening.
Yeah, like, the only way that, like, your latch could have gotten frozen in a position where it wouldn't latch is if it wasn't latched to begin with.
Yeah. Yeah, like if it was only half closed.
Now, it could be because of the cold, some of the metal has shrunk so that it's not able to rotate, but that doesn't mean that it froze.
Yeah. Also, to fix, if you don't have a hairdryer, run your car, blast the heaters. Heat it up from the inside out. If you don't want to get the extension cord for a hairdryer, focus it on one spot.
There, it's just like, take something and, like, don't go hard, but, like, if you have, like, a rubber mallet or something, just, like, lightly tap on it. Like,
Yeah.
ice will break.
Do an AVE. Tap it, tap, tap.
Tappy tap tap.
Yeah.
Don't forget your safety
If it's
squeeze.
legitimately frozen, if it's like an ice issue, ice will break without not a lot of negotiation. If it's corrosion or something, or like a spring is broken, then yeah, it's probably not going to want to move.
Oh, he's saying it's the lock, not the latch now.
Oh.
Well, no, he says now the
Well, that's a
handle stays
different
open.
mechanism.
No, he says the handle stays open now, so...
Well, if the lock keeps getting frozen, you need to bring your shit to a mechanic is what you need to do. Because you're saying different things, and now I'm not entirely sure what you're saying.
Yeah, as Y2K is pointing out, I was like, if you poured water on it, you've probably only made the issue worse. Because now water is probably formed into ice in places where you can't see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen to the Canadian.
Just bring it to a mechanic. I think that's best in your case, Pav.
Do you have a buddy with a garage?
Yeah.
Do you have a friend? Let's start there.
I said, like, Y2K is, like, not far. Like, if you have some, like, ice melt, or, like, even a bit of antifreeze, like, you can use that to try and melt it out.
That's not good for the environment, but it is an option.
Yeah. If you have a buddy with a garage,
That I know how that is, YTK. Fucking when a padlock freezes up. That shit sucks.
Okay. Hey, Jables, do you want a car? Because I know where there's one that you can easily get into.
Yeah.
Fuck, we had an article about that too. Damn it!
Wait, what?
The finders keepers thing.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but unfortunately, we were almost out of time.
Yeah.
We basically are. We're over our time. We're closing in on our drop dead time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Pod, sell the car to me for $1 so I can avoid taxes.
Yeah, don't do them like the fucking Price is Right does.
Yeah.
Yeah, fun fact, if you're ever on the Price is Right, you don't want to win the fucking car.
Unless he can afford to pay the taxes. Yeah, most people just end up selling the car, right? Because they can't afford the taxes.
Yeah. Like that's like the one thing they don't, that's the one little dirty secret they don't tell you about winning cars on game shows.
Yeah. You know, but
Because
I
most
actually
of
would...
the time, the people that win it, they have to go back to a different state afterwards.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't mind, I don't know, win the car, sell it, pay off the taxes, use the rest of the money to buy a cheaper car. I don't think that's that terrible of a deal.
Well, I'm the kind of person who, if I'm gonna buy a car, I'm gonna get what I want. Because
Yeah, exactly.
my truck's 25 years old. Do you really think that I'm gonna sell that thing once it's kind of not not young anymore? Fuck no. That thing's gonna go till the wheels pop off.
Oh yeah, that's why I'm thinking about getting a Toyota Tacoma, because those things just don't die.
Yeah, because like whenever it happens on stuff like that, it's like, you know, it's usually just like one person like gets like the car and like a couple of outdoor things, and then you have the person that gets like, oh, like there's this entire like modern home entertainment center and furniture. It's like, can I trade? I want that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you say that, Jables, but
that one I can put in a truck and take home.
I'm one of those people that I have never had good luck with Toyota. I have had way too many breakdown on me.
I'm talking very specifically the Toyota Tacoma.
I include the Tacoma in that.
Really?
Yeah.
Everybody I know that's had a Toyota Tacoma, they're like, I don't even change the oil. Fuck it.
I don't have a Tacoma.
30 years.
I have never owned a Tacoma, and I still have had like 2 breakdown on me. Just don't. That is purely me not having any luck with Toyota.
That's the thing. Is like the problem is like modern Toyotas, like especially modern Toyota trucks. They are not the Hiluxes of yesteryear that are essentially unkillable.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, because I know some people with Toyota Tacomas. They're like, yeah, sometimes they're spitting the engine, sometimes and it works. It's like that's the amount of care that they put into it, and it's just been running for 30 years.
Like that, There's that famous episode of Top Gear where they tried to kill, I think, like it was like an '84 Hilux. They couldn't kill that truck. They tried.
No, they were able to make it so that it couldn't run without the use of some minor hand tools and a little elbow grease. And that's all it took to bring the damn thing back to life.
Yeah.
Like its entire frame was warped. It was
That includes drowning the fucker in seawater. All it took.
They drove that truck into the set against its will.
They fucking parked.
No more.
They fucking parked that truck on the beach at low tide and anchored it down. And not only did they let tide roll in, but the fucking tide flipped the goddamn truck over. And it still was able to... It still only took some minor hand tools and a little elbow
to get
grease.
it to move under its own power again.
Yeah. No battery-powered tools or anything like that. Not even specialty hand tools. Fucker drove back into the goddamn fucking set.
Yeah. See,
Yeah,
I
like
need
old
something
trucks,
like that.
especially old Toyota trucks, were just built different, man.
Oh no, old ones are built way different. I've still had an old one break down on me. Like I said, it's not that the trucks are bad. I have shit luck with them.
Yeah, it's kind
We
of like
all
my
know
dad
it's
when it
'cause
comes
you
to
hate the
Dodge
Japanese
Rams.
and the cars know it.
I do
Like-
not hate the Japanese. But I can't say what I actually think because my wife is here.
Like, no shit, like, my dad had 3 Dodge Ram pickup trucks get totaled on him.
Yeah.
One of them was because the anti-lock brakes failed and it slid down an icy bridge and crashed. The second one got knocked onto its side by a drunk in a Ford Probe. And then the third one, he sideswiped a tree trying to avoid a deer.
Yeah. I will say this, though.
Every Dodge truck the man ever owned got wrecked.
I'll say this. The Ford-Chevy rivalry is kind of funny. Because the reality is the difference between them, normally, most of the time, is the Chevy will break down more often, but when it breaks down, more often than not, you're still going to be able to drive the thing. It's a minor breakdown, like, oh, this sensor went out.
Or the battery connector got loose.
Yeah, it's something stupid and simple like that. Or it's more serious, but it doesn't actually affect the drive.
Yeah.
Ford will last a lot longer. But when it breaks down, you're probably going to need a tow truck.
Yep.
Yeah. Although modern Chevys don't fuck modern Chevy trucks. Or modern Dodges, for that matter.
Oh, I'm not looking to buy a modern, like a super modern car. If anything,
Well, it
I'd
does
buy,
depend
like, a
on the
late-
truck. The Chevy's quote-unquote mid-size trucks are a bit better in the maintenance department than their full-size.
Yeah, like the new Colorados aren't terrible.
The
Well,
new
I
Colorados
haven't
are
even-
decent.
I haven't even decided if I'm going to get a vehicle yet, but what I'm doing is I'm keeping a notebook in my pocket, and every time, because I have that fleeting thought, like, okay, this is why it would be nice to have a car. And every time I have that thought, I'm putting down a tally, and I'm just seeing how much that adds up over a month or so.
Well,
if it's a lot, then it's going to be, then I'm going to be like, okay, I'll start putting away.
You know, for you, I would not suggest getting a truck.
Oh, no. No,
You definitely should get like a sedan of some sort
mhm.
if you're gonna get a car.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
If it was going to be a truck, it'd be like a Toyota Tacoma because those things don't die. But other than that,
I drive a
yeah.
hatchback.
Yeah.
I drive a 1997 Chevy K1500, which nowadays would be called a Silverado 4x4.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm not even in the process of really thinking about a car. I'm just seeing how many times I have the thought of it would be nice to have a car to see if I can justify all the costs that goes into it.
Well, if you had a car, you could drive down here.
Yeah, that's one of those things. I could take a weekend, go visit my parents, too.
At a whim,
Yeah.
you could drive to your parents for Christmas.
I had an option to get a Focus sedan, but I went with the hatchback because the entire back end opens up, and when the seats fold down, it's much easier to load shit and get it back out again.
Yeah,
And I can carry more.
Hatchbacks are nice for cargo capacity, but at the same time, you don't have a separated compartment for your stinky gym clothes.
Well, I
And
don't have a
if
gym
someone
membership,
breaks-
so that don't bother me.
And if you break into the car, or if you break into the trunk of a hatchback, you've broken into the whole car. Whereas if you break into the trunk of a sedan, depending on the year model, you may or may not have access to the rest of the car.
Yeah. I mean, there are benefits,
It's benefits
and detriments
versus
of each one.
Yeah, it's benefits versus yeah. Fuck.
I'm just talking about getting around, guys. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah,
even
but
getting
you
that
brought
deep about
something
it.
up, and we started talking about other shit. Why does it have to be about your car?
Yeah, we're talking about our cars now.
Okay, well, fuck you guys. I'm going home.
Because we actually
So-
have cars to talk about.
Yeah, I've got a truck, and I really love my truck. Her name is Lizzie.
I really
or
love my
Elizabeth.
hatchback.
I have had her a long time. I used to use her for truck purposes all the time, loading and hauling. I used to carry stuff in the bed or drive with trailers all the time. I haven't done that as much anymore, but having a four-wheel drive vehicle is a good idea where I live in case we get a mudslide over a road. Too bad my four-wheel drive, my transfer case is not working.
Funnily enough, Y2K, depending on the size of the fridge, if I fold the seats down, I probably could get one in my car. It'd be a tight fit, but it would fit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but people are gonna still ask questions.
I mean, I'm not gonna put a fridge in my car because I like my car's suspension.
Well, it depends on the fridge. Empty fridges aren't actually all that heavy.
Well, obviously.
Which
it's like,
is probably
are you
also
sure you
the
want us to
condition you're
load
gonna
this with
transport
fucking frozen bacon? Yeah, just put it all in there.
it. I
Just do
need to
it.
keep the fridge cold in transport, man. Nothing keeps it colder than thermal mass.
All right. Well, guess it's the end of the show. Thank you, everybody, for
I
joining.
suppose.
Oh, yeah.
It's been fun.
It has.
Are we gonna raid Advance to the Rear?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Oh, and just because we won't be around, and in case you don't join Jables later for his movie marathons, Merry Christmas, everybody.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm
Merry
doing Christmas stuff
Happy
all weekend.
holidays.
Yeah, I'm doing Christmas stuff all weekend in the server. So yeah, just pop in anytime. I'll be playing movies and like Christmas specials from TV shows and stuff. So I might not even be around, but I'll have stuff playing.
Well, bye.
All right. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everyone. Rating now.